Welcome back to another edition of Space Invaders TV. I'm your host, Rashawn, aka Looker. You guys see the title here. Before we go on and start this off, I want to say I'm sorry to the children, the students of Goldsboro High School down in Goldsboro, North Carolina. I want to say I'm sorry to the teachers, the faculty, and staff members of Goldsboro High School that you have to, as far as the students, you have to learn in those conditions. The faculty, staff members, teachers, you have to try to teach, and you come to work to do your job in those conditions. Wayne County Public Schools, you should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed of yourself to allow such situation to build up like that for so long, and allow those children to have to come to school in those situations. For some students, high school is a way for them to escape and get away. School is supposed to be a fun place and atmosphere to come to, fun, safe to come to. You have to sit at desk and worry about things falling from the wall onto your paper, your schoolwork, onto your clothing. You have to worry about things running by your feet while you're trying to learn. It's the freaking 21st century. What is going on down there in Wayne County? This is what you folks are doing to the students? This is how you're going to treat your oldest high school? Come on now. Come on now. Do you treat your other? I would hate to see what your other historic landmarks look like down there in Wayne County. Let's be clear. Goldsboro High School is a historic structure. It's been around since the 1800s, the late 1800s. It's been around. And this is how you treat your historic high school? Really? This is how you treat your students? I just don't understand. But I want to go on, and I want to read this article before I go because my followers, y'all know how I do. I go in. I don't play when it comes to the students and education and teachers and everything. I get so tired of everything that I'm seeing month after month, week after week, all around this nation. You seeing things happening with these people and how what they're doing with the funding. Just the funding they've got alone. The COVID relief funding they got for education alone, which some of these school districts around the country have been doing with it. Now, there's been school districts around the country that's been doing right by their students, and they've been taking great advantage of that money. They've been doing the things that they've needed for years because they know how they've been struggling for so long. So they've been trying to do the best that they can and utilizing that money the best that they can, because one thing that they know is we ain't gonna get this again. It ain't gonna come right. We ain't gonna get this again, so we're gonna make good on this. If this gonna be the only and last time, we're gonna do right by these funds. See, a lot of schools are doing that. You see, you got people all around the country. They were all up in arms about the mask mandates and everything. Okay, they're lifted, but we got schools like Goldsboro High School in North Carolina that are in dire need. You heard me speak about it and about schools in Guilford County, North Carolina. You heard me speak about these things. You got this high school, Goldsboro High School, which is I would say that it's a historical building. This is how you treat your historic structures? Come on, man. Come on, man. Wayne County Public Schools, you suck. You suck. You suck. And everybody on your board needs to be fired. You guys, I'm gonna get into you. My name is Rashawn, aka Looker. Wayne County Public Schools. Hate that you gotta meet me on these terms, but I don't play when I talk about these students. You know, you can't play around like that. And you guys wanna sweep that under the rug. Nobody wants to talk about it, huh? You don't want to talk about that, huh? Okay, here we go. So, yes, mice, mold, and cockroaches. Goldsboro High School students, they speak out over the infestation in their classrooms. Okay? Mice, mold, and cockroaches are a common sight at Goldsboro High School, students say. The learning environment has been neglected as students say they are forced to stare at plaster peeling from the walls and walk on rotted floors. On Tuesday, 3 students brought their concerns to the Goldsboro City Council meeting. Okay? We have problems that people look over because they see Goldsboro High School and they think it's just Goldsboro. It's so ghetto over there. The kids are so bad. But that's not true at all, said student Christopher Smith. Shout out to you, Christopher Smith. Thanks for standing up for your school, young man. A total of 536 students attend the high school. At the majority of those students are black, according to state data from the 2020-2021 school year. Smith and his fellow classmates pleaded with the city council to do something about the unsafe conditions they are subject to every day. The students say at the meeting that during class they have to swat away wasps and cockroaches from their desks. Also, students said they regularly see rats and mice. How can we perform academically and continue to do great things like tonight if the school is not up to par? Smith asked. We are expected to learn around these conditions. Officials with the Goldsboro City Council told the students that they are not under the jurisdiction to repair the school and told students to bring their concerns to Wayne County School Board of Education at their next meeting on April the 8th. City Council members Charles Gaylor told Smith that he would be at the next board meeting on April the 8th and would ensure the students had transportation to make it there. Yes, y'all go there. Goldsboro High School, I challenge every one of you students, you need to be at that board member. And you speak up and you make them adults that's supposed to be servicing you. You make them feel this small. You make them feel like the cockroach. And you go there and you voice your concerns because they are to service you. They are to service you. They are there for you, and don't let them tell you nothing different. They are on the school board and they are there to service you and the teachers and your parents. They are public servants. Don't let them fool you because that's what they are. And that superintendent, he needs to be out of there. You need to be out of there. All of y'all on that board need to be out of there. I checked y'all. I checked y'all, and we're going to talk about y'all. Each and every one of y'all, I'm going to get into you. Let me finish this last sentence here. Ken Darskin, Executive Director for Community Engagement at Wayne County Public Schools, said that he applauded the 3 students for advocating for their school and Tuesday night's council meeting. At this time, we are researching work orders to confirm what repairs have been made in regards to floor tiles and window frames damaged by older air units, peeling paint in stairwells, and roofing concerns that may be contributing to leaks. I'm just gonna stop right there because this is a bunch of BS. Okay, y'all knew that school, Wayne County Public Schools. Y'all knew that school had issues. Y'all knew that school had issues for years, and I'm pretty sure if peeling walls and paint and everything, that sounds like an asbestos issue to me. I don't know. What do you think? Peeling paint? Peeling paint. The school was built in the 1800s, okay? So let's just go here for a minute. Let's get some brief history. The building housing the Goldsboro High School actually began life as Wayne Female College in 1854 to 1862. Served as a hospital during the Civil War, and reopened as Goldsboro Female College in 1868. It became known as Goldsboro High School for both boys and girls in 1874. So, when is the last time have y'all did any work? I hope it wasn't in 1874. I hope it wasn't in the 1800s that y'all had last, because we're in the 21st century now. Okay, Wayne County Public Schools, when is the last time y'all did some work on that school? A lot of y'all been sitting on that board for quite some time, okay? You want to know, I hate to just jump real quick, but I'm going to go there real fast and we're going to go back. What's amazing to me is that I went to your, it's amazing how I went to and I watched Wayne County Public Schools, watched your YouTube channel, and I thought that I would see something concerning or anybody even raising any concerns about that, because you know what? Those three students, I give my hat goes off to them that spoke up. This isn't your first time knowing about that school in dire need of upgrades. You might need to totally knock the school down. How about that? And build those students a brand new school. How about that? What's the problem? You know, what's the problem? Okay? Let's go on here. I want to go somewhere else so we could break down some things. Let's see how much money that Wayne County Public Schools had got. I ain't gonna say that. I know some teachers not gonna like that. This is reported from the Old North, okay? An eye on Wayne County in every direction. This is a publication down there. Okay. Wayne County Public Schools has big plans for its $80 million in COVID funds. More than $80 million in coronavirus funding over the next few years will allow Wayne County Public Schools to execute millions of dollars in school repairs and upgrades, and to make improvements in technical education, including providing a device for every student, and will save the jobs of beginning teachers across the district. I'm going to stop right there and we're going to continue on. We're going to stop right there because I want to make a point. Now, when I watched your your school board meeting, Wayne County Public Schools, when I watched your school board meeting on YouTube for on Monday, the 7th, you guys just said, anybody have any closing remarks? None of you said anything about repairs at this school. The question was asked, does anyone have any closing remarks before we close out this meeting? No one said anything about repairs at the school. No one said anything about this money that y'all have to do the upgrades for the school. Now, I would love to know what the rest of the schools in the district in Wayne County, what they're like. I would love to know if anybody watching this from Wayne County, please send an email to Space Invaders, SPYCEINVADERS at Yahoo. DERZ at yahoo.com. Send us an email, so and let us know what school you are in down there in Wayne County, and let us know about it. Cause see, I'm all about Yes, I'm all about putting these folks on blast because it's time to do right by these children. You are there to do a job and to service these children. They are not there to service you. You are there to service these children. See, you got a lot of people that sit on these boards that want to be fake politicians. Okay? They fake politicians and they want to sit on those board and they pushing their own little agendas. And they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing by these schools. But guess what, folks? Guess what? The pandemic, COVID, coronavirus, pulled the curtain back on a lot of folks like you. And we're getting you out of here. We're going to put you on blast. You're getting up out of here. See? Because all of these things from the past 2 years, you guys, if you've been following me, you know I've been talking about the different schools around the country, the things that have been going on. It's been out of control. And that is a shame that they have those students in those conditions. And those 3 students are so tired that they had to go and say something. It should have been more teachers with them speaking up. I challenge and I ask every student right now, if you go to Goldsboro High School, to stand with those 3 students. And y'all go to that board meeting and y'all speak up. Because there are going to be students coming after you, okay? And you must stand for them. If you have pride in that, in your school and those colors, stand behind your fellow classmates and go to that board meeting. I challenge those those teachers and faculty to accompany those students. You go with them. Because when those students are gone, if you plan on still staying at that high school and teach, you need to stand. Because you got to get people out of here like that. You see, these people sit around on these boards and they play games. And that's what those folks are playing there. I see. No, I'm not a resident. No, I never went to Goldsboro High School, but I speak for the students. Okay? Student lives matter. I speak for the students around the country when I speak on these education. Yeah. Some might say, oh, I just report the bad things. No, I'm reporting the bad things that are happening. I don't just report that. I'm reporting the things that are being reported and then it goes overlooked. I want to put the microscope on it and, as they say, hold those feet to the fire. Because for so long, you have people getting away with doing wrong by these students and they are there to do a job. And what bothers me all the time is that you have folks like that sits on these school boards, and it's okay for them to play games and do what they do with the students and then want to lock parents out of school board meetings, right? But those same type of people, if they come out into the public and want service and someone gives them a poor service, they're liable to make a big stink and possibly get a person fired from their job because they felt that they had got poor service somewhere. So we're going to be fair. You're going to do right by them students. If I got something to say, and if my word can get projected far enough, you're going to do right by these students. So just know, wherever you at in this country, I'm going to be on your ASS. Understand that. Because when it comes across and I see it, I'm going to report it. And I'm going to let everybody know. This how you do your students. So Wayne County, you up on the map right now. That's how you do your students? That's how you doing the students? That's how you doing them? Oh, so you going to act like you ain't know them walls was peeling? The pictures and images I see, the paint hanging off the walls. Look like asbestos to me. Chips. Paint chips on desks, on window sills, on the floor, mice, mold. Come on, man. You guys suck. And you got $80 million. $80 million government funds. What are you doing with it? That's a lot of money. You're the 21st biggest school district in the state of North Carolina. Okay? Meaning that you're not that big. All right? So, what are you doing with that $80 million? Let me continue to go on. Interim Superintendent David Dr. David Lewis said the district had already received millions in COVID-19 funding prior to the announcement of the second phase of the elementary and secondary school emergency release funding. ESSER 2 will make an additional $24 million available to Wayne County. Those funds must be used by September 2023. A third round of $55 million, which will expire September 2024, is expected to be released as well, Lewis said. And while the rules for these next rounds are looser, Lewis said there are still restrictions on how the funds can be used. Work in the schools must focus on providing a safe, contaminant-free environment for students and personnel in the wake of COVID-19, addressing learning loss and shoring up digital learning infrastructure. I'm going to stop right there. Okay? So they gave you the money, Lewis. Dr. Lewis, superintendent of Wayne County Public Schools, they gave you the money for what? To fix those very same issues that they're dealing with in Goldsboro High School. It's 2022, sir. When you gonna get to it? It's 2022. Wayne County Public Schools, the board. When you gonna get to it? What are you gonna do? You gonna let some of them funds go back, and then say, "Oh, we lost the funds. We didn't get to it fast enough." What are you gonna do? Oh, you just fixing up the schools you want to fix up, huh? That don't matter to you, huh? See, I hate to play this card and I hate to say this, but when I read it, I had automatically knew. When I seen the images, I had automatically knew. We just gotta call it what it is. So, Goldsboro High School is predominantly black school. So you just gone. I ain't said it. It's written. WRAL even reported that. Okay? 536 students, predominantly black high school. Oh, so you just not gonna do right by them, huh? You're gonna let them stay in the infested school, huh? That's what that is, huh? We just gonna call it what it is. See, these are the things that goes on, and you guys didn't even talk anything about it at your school. Nobody made a mention of that. It's any last remarks. Nobody brought up like, hey, we need to make sure we anybody know anything about the funding? Nobody said anything about Goldsboro High School and things need to be fixed there. Nobody made a mention of that. You guys suck. You guys suck, and that's a shame that you're doing those students like that. It's a shame that that's a historic high school, and you leaving a high school to just fade away like that, deteriorate. You're gonna have to knock it down eventually. I guarantee. That's a shame. Let's move on here, cause yeah, I'm gonna drag you folks because you need to be dragged, cause that's a freaking shame. Okay. So, the superintendent of schools, Dr. Lewis of Wayne County Public Schools, he's been in there since January 2021. So you've been in there for a little over a year now, okay? What are you doing, man? You got the funding. Why haven't you put things into play? Why haven't you sat down with the board? Why haven't y'all done anything? Huh? Why those students had to come forward and say anything to you grown adults that supposed to be handling adult business for the children? Why haven't you guys done it? This is like what I say, people like that, they sit on these boards and they get comfortable. They've been on these boards for however long. They fake politicians, and they sitting there. They don't get paid much money anyway. So you got to understand that, look, it's either two things. You're going to do your job or you're not going to do your job because you got ulterior motive, okay? We're just going to point that out, all right? Because you don't get paid much to do that. You don't get paid much to do those jobs, man, to sit on school boards. You don't get paid. A lot of them folks, a lot of y'all got other jobs. Y'all don't get paid nothing, okay? So you either there to do the job or you there not to do the job. That is just simple as that. And from the looks of this, you're not there to do your job. Let's go with the first District 1. District 1, Wayne County Public Schools. Don Christopher West, District 1. He began serving in December of 2010. His term expires this year, 2022. All right? What have you done, Don? What are you doing, Don? And let's be clear, just because you service in one district, in totality, you're there to service all the students, not just your district. And if you think like that, that means your brain is this small and you don't need to be in that seat anyway, and you do have ulterior motive if you think like that. Just because you service in one district don't mean nothing. You are there for the children, okay? You're there for the children. That's just what it is, buddy. All right, let's go on here. District 2, Mr. H. Lynn Henderson. Yeah, you've been in there since 2016. His term expires in 2024. What have you been doing? What have you been doing, Mr. Henderson? What have you been doing? What is your plan? Okay? Same thing I said before. Just because you got this one district, that's the home base. In totality, you are to service all the children, okay? Not just your district. If you're done with your district, then maybe you should go talk to the other district and say, hey, your district's struggling. Let me see how I can help you. That's what you do. Let's go on here. District 3. This is Wayne County Public Schools. District 3, Patricia A. Burden. She's been there serving since June of 2024. Her term expires in Sorry. Patricia A. Burden, District 3. She's been serving since June 2014. Her term expires in 2024. Okay? What have you been doing, Patricia? What is going on? Let's move on here. District 4, Miss Jennifer S. Strickland. She's been in there since December 2014. Her term expires this year, 2022. What are you doing? Okay? What are you doing? Not just for your district, for the whole thing. What are y'all all collectively doing? Y'all sit on the board, y'all come together. What are y'all doing? Huh? Okay? You're on the whole team together. Okay? District 5, Craig Fouch. He's been there. He just got there October 2021. His term expires this year. Okay? District 6, Mr. Wade Leatham. He got there March 2020. His term expires this year, 2022. At large, Mr. J. Tommy Sanders III. He's been in there since December 2020. His term expires in 2024. All right, so my question to you, Tommy Sanders, since you just got there too, what are you gonna do? What's the game plan here for that school? Because you need to focus on that now. You know, what's the school? What's the game plan for Goldsboro High School? Okay. You too, Mr. Wade Leatham. You've been there since 2020, March 2020. Your term expired. Well, you getting out of there this year. So hopefully the ones that are leaving this year in 2022, you got some new candidates coming in that's going to do right. Who else is there? Mr. Henry Lynn Henderson. What are you going to do, sir? You still got 2 more years left. What's the game plan? You and Patricia, what's the game plan? You and Patricia are there for another 2 years, as well as Mr. J. Tommy Sanders III. What are you folks going to do? Okay? What are you folks going to do? Because, you know, you got a lot of money you sitting on that is sitting there that needs to be spent. And I'm pretty sure that really Goldsboro High School, they're probably just the worst. I would imagine that there's other schools that are in dire need as well in your district. And I just want to know right now, with that $80 million that you got, what are you going to do with it? What is the game plan? Y'all need to be talking about that, because those students coming and y'all need to answer those students' questions. And it's a shame that those students got to come to you and ask and pretty much plead with y'all to do something. It's a shame. And you guys sitting there on your board talking about freaking masks. You talking about masks. Y'all spent, I watched a whole, what was it? I don't know, 17 minutes. You guys sat there and talked about freaking masks. Okay? You talked about freaking masks. It's fine, everyone. So we talking about lifting the mask and everything like that. But meanwhile, these students at Goldsboro High School need to steady sit in the classroom with masks on, cause they got all types of, when mice bring feces. You got wasps, cockroaches. You know what I'm saying? You got this falling paint, mold. Those kids need to continuously stay with masks on in that school. Dang, no mandate should be lifted for that school. Okay. Furthermore, the students shouldn't even be in there. Why not? Why haven't y'all just transferred them to the other high school? Okay. Why haven't y'all did that? What's the problem with that? That seems to be a bigger high school, right? Why haven't y'all transferred them? Man, that high school lease is new. I would imagine that y'all don't have that high school looking like that. Matter of fact, let me see. Let's see something here. So I would doubt that Eastern Wayne High School, haven't seen anything about them. That school in 1969, so I'm figuring that school still got some good bones to it, because we know for sure Goldsboro High School don't, and you guys don't give a flying fuck. What about what's this, Rosewood High School? When was this one? I'm trying to see here. When was that? When was it? I don't see it. Yeah, but like I said, I know what time it is. We just keeping it real here. I see what it is, but y'all need to answer that. Y'all need to answer up, because those students coming to y'all been knew about that. Them students just coming to let y'all know, and blast y'all like, hey, they tired. But y'all knew that school been like that. Y'all seen the work orders come in for that school, or have not no work orders. I'm pretty sure that the teachers have complained. Okay, I'm pretty sure that the teachers, if they're in a classroom and paint is falling, chips are falling on desks and things are on the floor, I'm pretty sure that they reported to the maintenance. What? So what's going on? Why hasn't anything been fixed? Especially since you got that $80 million. Why? I'm going to continue to put people on blast like this, because it burns me up to know, like, these folks sit in and take these positions. They sit on boards because they're fake politicians. They want to be something, and then they get up here and then they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. They just sit on these boards and they fronting. First of all, they don't get paid money at all to do that. So it's like, okay, you're not getting paid, so you're either there to do the job or you're there not to do the job, and you're there for your own personal gain. And as we've seen time and time again, and that's the only thing that I can come up with at the end of it all, is that these folks are sitting on these board members for their own personal gain. Their own personal gain, and they sit on these boards in the name of these students, but they're not doing nothing in the name of the students. And a lot of these schools get certain fundings itself. Some of these schools get, I shouldn't say get, because I know a teacher is watching and she's going to get. A lot of these schools, what I've learned in the last year around this country, most of these schools were already getting certain funding alone for whatever, like here in Guilford County, you have Restart schools. So some of the Restart schools, they get certain funding. So a lot of these schools, they may have the same thing around the country. They may not call them Restart. They may call them something else. I don't know what they may call them. That certain school may receive a certain amount of funds from the federal government. So I'm pretty sure that Goldsboro High School received some type of funding and extra additional funding before COVID. I'm very sure they probably received some other types of funding. The school just never receives it. The county does what they want to do with it. But it'll all come out. But how you doing, Wayne County Public Schools? I'm Rashawn, aka Looker. And thank you for I'm on your tails now, because you're gonna do right by those students there and any other school in that county, because I'm gonna be digging and I'm gonna be looking for some things on you guys, because now you on my radar. And then Catherine Truitt, why aren't you saying anything, ma'am? You are the superintendent of the schools of North Carolina. Why aren't you saying anything, ma'am? I look on your Facebook page, you're not saying anything. You don't have no picture or nothing showing that. I know you seen that on WRAL. I know you seen it too. Why aren't you saying anything? See, what I notice is you folks want to take photo ops and things, and you folks want to show all the good things in school and want to keep sweeping the negative, bad things up under the rug. You don't want to shed light. No. Let's be transparent here. Let's have some transparency here. You just can't have the good and don't talk about the bad things. You can't just keep wanting to shed light because you took a picture over here, a photo op over here. No, you need to pay more attention to these schools, and you need to speak out more, Ms. Catherine Truitt. You are the superintendent of public instruction for North Carolina schools, and you need to see more and you speaking more on that and less of everything else, because your job is what? Superintendent of North Carolina Public Schools. Yeah, that's what you are, man. You need to have more of that and less of everything else, because let's be clear here, you got some issues here and you need to fix it. You should have been down there ASAP pronto. When things happen in the country, let's just think of this. When things happen in the country, right? If a disaster happens in the country, right? What do people expect from? What do certain states expect for the president to come, and the president to come through a walk around and fly over and then talk to the governor of the state and then say, hey, this is what we're gonna do for you. We're here. We're gonna lend certain funding for whatever, blah, 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 right? Why aren't you doing what you need to do as a superintendent and getting down there to that school? And why aren't you digging in their hind parts and asking them, what's going on here? See, people say it's political. No, it's people bringing politics into the education. That's what they're doing. It's people like that. It's people that sit on these boards and they bring in the politics into it. Because you're there just to do a job for the students. You're there for the students. You have these folks coming in, bringing their politics, their ulterior motives, their agendas, and they're sitting on these boards and they're bringing that. It doesn't have to be political, because you're there to do a job. That's just like, and many in the workforce out here. Okay. You can't just go into a corporation. They don't really allow, many corporations don't allow you to speak about religion and politics on the grounds and on their property. They don't want a lot of that. They don't want that talk, because it brings problems when you're on their property of whatever said corporation, okay? So, but with education, you have these folks bringing that into the education. You have them bringing that into the education, and that's causing a problem in the education, because you have folks bringing that in there. Your job is not about the politics. Your job is about handling what's right for the students. Okay, that's what it is. And time again, every story that I've read over the past year, 2 years, it's always been these folks have been trying this, bringing and pushing this political stuff, and they've been doing it for years. But It doesn't even have to be that. Just do your job. But that is the ulterior motive that folks have to bring the divide. They come with the politics, and then they all of this crazy stuff. And like, man, these are students. Okay, lead them out of that. Stop targeting these students. Do right. So in my closing, man, Catherine Truitt, Superintendent of North Carolina Public Schools, or Superintendent of Public Instruction, however you want to say it, you need to really get it together, man. You really do. I looked at your page and I said, wow, you're not even addressing that issue, huh? We just gonna keep on showing everything else. You just gonna keep shaking hands and doing everything else with everything outside of the public education, huh? Like, you're just not gonna focus on those issues and show the people like, hey, I'm here to do the job. We gonna get this done. You talked about Catherine Truitt. You talked about the Parent Advisory Commission, and that's something where parents can come speak up and speak about things. Well, you need to start right there with Goldsboro High School, ma'am, and them students. You should be front and center, ma'am, at that school board meeting, ma'am, next month on April the 8th, 2022, when those students from Goldsboro High School go and speak. You need to be there, Catherine Truitt, and you need to take pictures of that too. Matter of fact, you need to record it. Okay? You need to record that, ma'am. So we can hear responses and see what's gonna happen. And we're gonna keep, and I'm gonna keep following this. Okay? And I'm gonna keep following this, and any student at Goldsboro High School, faculty member, staff, teacher, whatever, feel free to email me, Space Invaders, SPYCEINVADERZ @yahoo.com. Any information, give me some updates or whatever. I'm gonna continue to keep following as much as I can, but y'all make sure to email me anything. Drop a comment in the bottom of this video here. But yeah, I'm on a tail. I don't like when it's grown folks. I don't like when y'all continue to keep playing with these students. I don't like when y'all continue to keep playing with these students and want to sweep things under the rug and keep acting like want to go on like this is just, no, this ain't normal, man. This is the 21st century. This ain't the 1800s. This ain't the 1700s. All right, this ain't that time. Y'all gonna have to do right by these students. Ain't no more. You ain't gonna just be. You can't just tuck and hide no more. You gonna tuck or get fried. Get out. Plain and simple. Go run. All right, because you're gonna get up out of here. You're not gonna continue to keep sitting here taking advantage of these children like that. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna happen. Not on my watch. I'm gonna say something about it. They got too many people speaking up about all other types of issues and everything. People speaking up on issues because somebody said something in the media about them. You got entertainers speaking up about somebody said this about them. They made me feel this way or whatever. When it comes to this education, we don't hear too much about what's going on. You know what I mean? And I feel the need that I got to speak up. I'm gonna say something. Because a lot of times people run around and they throw that they offer education. They throw that word out a lot, like, oh, I'm pro education, and everything. But we have these students out here being, these schools underserved. It's time that change, and COVID has pulled the curtain back from all of that. Okay. And it's time that it change. It's time that we get those folks that sit in those seats for their own personal gain. You have to get them out of there. So the people, the residents of Goldsboro, the parents, adults, period, get those people out of your board. You have to get them off of your board, your school boards. Get them out of there because they ain't doing right by the children. There's no way that they didn't know. They know. As we know, a lot of school board members, they don't go around to these schools. They don't go around to these schools. They don't go into these schools, but they sit there and they act like they fighting for a school. How could you fight for something that you ain't even going into school, and you saying that you on the board to fight for them. You're not even going into school and talking to people, talking to the children, checking out the school yourself. You can't even go in and do that. Nobody shouldn't have to invite you into the school. You should just go, because if it's your district, you want to know what's going on. You shouldn't have to get an email saying about certain things. You should know what's going on in the school. Point blank, period. How are you even advocating for funds for your school district, for your county, if you don't even know what like, how you asking for something and don't even know how much of it you need? You don't even, how is that even done? How are you asking for funding for your county, the schools in your county, if you don't even know what needs to be done to the schools in your county? Make that make sense. So let's just stop playing games. You folks know what's needed to be done. Just do your job. Do what you signed up to do. Do what you went and around the community and around the county, getting people to rally behind you so you can get on the school board, so you can further the advancement of your career, your political career. You know, if you're going to do the job, finish the job out and do the job. If you can't do your job, get out. Point blank, period. Don't wait till your time is up. Just step on down. If you can't do your job, just step on down. I see the morals and integrity of people and everything. Like when I see that, like, they sit on these boards and they continue to sit there, and if you can't get things done, then why do you continue to sit there? Why do you continue to sit there if you feel like it's a force against you to do your job? So if you sitting in a certain district and then you feeling like, okay, well, I'm in this said district and I need things done in this district, but these people are not working with me. My fellow board members not working with me. Superintendents, they're not working with me to do these things. So so you're just gonna continue to sit there. What happens is you're representing that district, so the people of that district are gonna look at you like, hey, what are you doing? So before that happens, if you need to communicate with your people, hey, listen, in the district you represent, hey, listen, I'm trying to do all I can do. I mean, I'm getting this type of resistance. I don't know what to do from this point. You know, I'm gonna have to back down because I can't fully do my job. See, you're in a job where you need support. So if the other folks around you are not supporting you, then what are you there for? If you see that there's some resistance, what are you there for? So I have many times people say to me, oh, I should get on the school board for Guilford County and things of that nature. No, not until every last one of them people that's on that board right now is out of there. Ain't no way I'm going to step up in there, because I already seen the resistance for years. I see what's going on. It's a big circus. There's a whole circus going on in there. I'm not going to put myself into that until everybody get out of there. And there's a whole new crew in there. Then I can feel like, okay, I can come through. So when the crew that the last 2 years is up, then you may see me come through. When the last 2 years, the folks that got that their seats are up in 2024 in Guilford County. Other than that, I'm not getting involved because I'm not going to waste my time. You know, we are adults. And when you are there to do a job, and any job in this country, if you don't do your job, you're going to get your walking papers. So I ask myself, when it comes to this education system, why are these people steady sitting on this board? Why are they there? Why are they not stepping down? If you cannot do your job, and you cannot seriously think that you're doing your job if you don't even go into the schools. If you're not even fully sure what's going on in all the schools. And you know what else makes it more of a shame is that a lot of these people went to these same schools that are in dire need. That's what makes it such a shame. You ain't got no fight in you. Why you there in the ring? That's my time, ladies and gentlemen. This is Space Invaders TV. Once again, I want to say sorry to the students of Goldsboro High School, the faculty, teachers, staff members, everybody. I'm sorry that y'all had to be in that situation. It's just a shame that we have people that sit on boards and things that are there supposed to be the eyes and ears for the students and the teachers and parents as well, the public, you know, they're on the school board, and they're supposed to be the eyes and ears for you, and they're just turning a blind cheek, turning out, just turning their head to everything. You know, that's wrong. And then they want to just focus on everything that's good. That is troublesome and bothersome when I see that. And for students to have to step up and say something because they're tired, and a young man asked the question, how are we supposed to learn in this situation? How are we supposed to learn in this? How am I supposed to focus? How am I supposed to listen to a teacher when I got paint chips falling on my desk, falling in my hair, like falling on me, period? How am I supposed to be prideful that I come to school every day? This place makes me depressed. How am I supposed to learn? Like I said, school is an escape for so many children. So kids, that's their escape, that's their time. You know, that's most children's time to, when they come to school. Most kids, that's their time to really fellowship with other students. Some students, they may be so isolated from others children that only time they get to really be around other students and children is when they come to school. So then when they come to school, they're excited. So I'm coming to school to this. But the sad part about it is somebody as an adult that thinks that is very funny and don't even care that those students at Goldsboro High School are sitting in that situation. It is an adult that's somewhere happy about that. And that's troublesome and bothers.